Okay, so back with another painting live stream. So 2 in 2 days, but it is the weekend, so a bit of free time in the evenings and able to do it. It's going to be slightly different today, not SFB, it's not Super Fancy Brawl, it's Lord of the Rings SBG. I thought I'll try some different miniatures, getting Wraithbone sprayed. These are metal, so number one, these are metal miniatures, just to see the difference with those, or the similarities. And also, I'm going to be doing contrast, but I'm also going to be doing some traditional layering over the top of it, which I think is probably the best way of painting. But we'll soon see how to do this. So we've got Elrond and Haldir as our two miniatures, and these are old sculpts, but just really nice sculpts as well. Because this game's been out since I think 2001 or 2002, and I've already done his face, as you can see with this, but some really nice detail in these sculpts. And I literally got the I got my Lord of the Rings stuff out after quite a while, and I'm just impressed with the quality of them. We got the Pelennor Fields Ring Wraith. I don't know if he'll come on the screen. This was done with contrasts, and I've used the just Basilican and Grey on his armour just to show it, and the blacks and Apothecary Whites. But a really nice miniature as well. So, by the way, Lorelei has been my favourite miniature that I've painted so far. There she is. Hang on a minute. Let me put the light on so we can actually see a bit more detail. Hold me a second. Oh dear. The Nazgul has grabbed my wire. That's better. Right. So just turning on. There we go. That's better. So this is Lorelei. I'm really pleased with how she turned out. What a great miniature. I still haven't done the face of the worm dragon yet. But that will be done at some point. Okay. So, let's zoom in and get started with Elrond. So you can see here I've used the flesh tone, the Guilliman flesh, already on the face of Elrond, and I'm going to go straight to Haldir next, doing the same colour with Haldir. So I'm using the holder now this time, because I've got the bases that I'm able to do that. These are pretty weighty in terms of miniatures because they are metal, and I've not been very good because I've not sorted out the little, you get these little mould or metal mould parts that you can just knock off the miniature. Same with that bit there, which I will do. There we go, nearly. So I really should have cleaned these miniatures up before I start. There we go. We will have to use the Wraithbone pot to just smarten up those to take away this metal that we've got here. Right, okay, so let's get on with the flesh. And we'll do exactly the same as what I've been doing with the SFB miniatures. Just going in with the contrast paints to start with, and maybe doing mixes. But I want to get an extra bit of layering highlights going with it as well. So size 0 brush again. Oops. May have to change that. No, I think we've just got hair. We've got no ear. What is that? There's an ear popping through there. Whoops. But not on that side. So if I look at the reference art, we've got blank bare hands as well. Haldir. He's got kind of he's got a kind of glove thing going on there. So we're talking about a much smaller miniature, and I'm really going to miss that large scale of SFB, I've got to be honest. I just love that huge scale of the super fancy brawl miniatures. I've got a bit too much. There we go. So we will be doing some layering highlights on the skin anyway. That's not a bad start. That's the flesh. So let's move on. No, we've obviously got a lot of metal work with these guys as well. Let's go on with his hair. His hair's a kind of blonde, light blonde, Haldir's is, wood elf. So I think what we're going to go with is a bit of skeleton horde, a bit of Elrond yellow as our two kind of ones we're going to be doing. Right, I'm actually going to move this a second because it's not ideal. There we go. That's better. I just need to move it up. Right, there we go. Right, so skeleton horde first. 1 part skeleton horde. I'm reckoning 1 part Elrond and yellow. And then in with the contrast medium. So it's just to dull down the yellow. We don't want it bright yellow, obviously. Okay, so that's kind of a blonde colour. Moving on to, well, it's not great. Moving on to let's get the wildwood onto the arrows, I think, and then we'll go red. Let's go into red straight away. So I'm actually going to use really bright Blood Angels red for the cloak. Now, obviously, it needs to be darkened, but that's where washes will come in, and then perhaps going back over with a bit of layering. So let's start with red getting in there. It's going to be way too bright for the final result. We don't want him looking like a superhero cape, particularly. Should really begin using a little bit of a smaller brush here. I'm not too fussed because I'm going in with the metal colour anyway on that part. That's why I'm not being too super careful here. Just a bit there. Is that a cloak or is that? Yeah, I think so. So a bit of cloak there. Right, I need to go smaller brush because I don't really want to get into the wrong details there. I'm so used to super fancy brawl miniatures, which are absolutely massive. They're going down to this size. You've got to be a bit more careful. It comes around the front. Just trying to think what's this is gonna. Okay. I think I just do a bit more on the arm there, leading up to the armour. Okay. Right, so that's the red done, with the cloak. Just getting to a point where I just need to do the metal work, and we'll take it from there. That's all going to be metal. Right, we've got the browny grey parts of the strapping. So I think we're going to go with wildwood. Sticking with this 000 brush. Let's do the bow. Just go over the cloak there a bit. On the arrows. Okay. Just looking on the art, and just the hilt, the handle of the sword. This case, is it? Okay. And then finally this kind of quiver. Oh, that red was not dry. Let's we've got some okay, and then we've got snakebite leather for the straps themselves, for the belt. Now, right, the cloak actually goes in to the chest part, which is quite cool. So let's get back that Blood Angel's red. This is actually red. I know we got some. Should wait for the brown to dry really. It's fine. And then red goes on past there, doesn't it? And it goes. Okay, what about inside? Let's do a bit of touch up on the metalwork there. So you're getting the Wraithbone base. Oh dear. Oh dear. Try not to drop your miniature on the floor while you're painting. Always be a good start. What a chip or... Oh, look at that. Beauty of metal. You can bend it back. That took a bit of a bang. Whoops. We're okay though. Okay, so we've got a lot of metal and kind of armor, which to be fair, on the picture is gold as well. I'm going to quickly bring up some art on the internet. Just to make sure, linked to Yeah, I think it is metal. It's got, yep, it's red, and then under the arms is black, dark blue, and then a kind of gold skirt. The skirt in between is a kind of gold, silver and bronze. Okay, that's all good. So I'm going to start with Wildwood back again. Let's do his feet. His boots. And then Cygor brown, which is a darker brown, to do the rest of the I've got the what I managed to get was the old journey books for this game, for Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers, which basically follow the books, the films. Well, the films more. It's more all based on the film franchise, to be honest, than the books. So all based on the film, and it sounds really cool. So I've literally bought some Rangers to play the first lot with some Ring Wraiths. I have one Ring Wraith at the moment, and I needed more than that. So I might be using some proxies for that. But yeah, the hope is to go through the campaign of that as well, which would be quite cool. So a bit of Cygor brown. Now we're going to do the bottom of the feet. And well, it does show a kind of silver. I think I can go Cygor brown under the arms. I'd rather that than black, I think. So this part here. Cygor. It goes all the way around to there. And in here as well. Whoa. Okay. So I think he's, apart from the flights can just go with a, I don't know, what do you reckon, just with a skeleton horde, apothecary white. Okay, Apothecary White for the flights of the arrows. And then it's metalwork from there on. Just straight. Yeah, it's kind of like a gold. Well, we can certainly do that in gold anyway, or silver, and then over the top of that. That's brown. That's metal. That's metal. Actually, I just need to do the handle of the bow, and then I'm just going to pick out the bits of metal with it. Okay. So everything else is metalwork, so let's put him to the side and bring up Elrond. Place already done. Let's get my... Right, so we're looking for a red-brown, similar kind of black cloak, black hair, this is going to be brown, but I want a red brown, so again a wildwood with that, and a fair amount of armour. The cloak is black, so that should be relatively quick, and then this Sigil brown, no, wildwood for a lot of this figure. So let's start with wildwood. His boots, I'm going to do Sigil brown. Then he's got his kind of tunic, which I'll just continue doing this colour and pick out the metal parts afterwards. Not the belt itself. I'm literally just getting this on everything. Not that bit, that's pure metal. So not everything. Not everything, it's just... he will also... interesting. And this as well. And then the kind of gauntlets will be the same. Then what we got going on there? Oops. This going down here. And might just try and pull it away from that cloak. I don't particularly want. Okay. Right. So that's the cloak done and the wildwood. I think we get that Seigel brown out. Do the boots while I'm here. And while I'm there's black gloves. Now, Lord of the Rings SBG, not SFP. Lord of the Rings is a proper miniatures war game with Lord of the Rings franchise by Games Workshop, and it is awesome. It's you get a really thematic feel for the different factions, the different races. in the movies. It is the movie franchise, which was obviously taken from the book franchise, admittedly, but it does follow the. Sorry, I'm just looking over there. It does follow the movie franchise. That's what they have licensed to. Not quite sure what's going on there. I'm just gonna. Give you that black. But yeah, it's got magic in it. It's got shooting, obviously. It's got melee attacks. And it's got many rules, many different things which go on. So it's an involved miniatures game, but a really, really good one. And yeah, I just want to get. I look forward to going back into it. I was playing the Battle Companies, which is kind of like a skirmish campaign style game, I guess you could say, where you have a band of whichever race you want to go with. So I was Isengard, and then you play with a few models, not many, and then you start to get more and more, and then you level them up. They become personal. You get attached to them. Really nice mode. But then of course there's the normal battle mode, which is your classic, and you can play with different points. So it depends on how long you want the game to last. Depends on the points value you go for. But it's such a good game, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into it when we can. So Black Templar is next. Hair, cloak. Do like this Black Templar as a contrast paint. Okay. Go small brush. Do the hair as well, which is also black. Well, I might actually, what I'm going to do is put the black in and then just use a bit of layering to get the brown tinge to it. So much depth of detail. These contrast paints, absolutely love. Yep, there's her. Okay. I just need to do make sure the inside of the cloak's done. That's fine. Okay. So that's the black. Now the gloves. The gloves are also black. And we're just God, I'll tell you what, this is so much more fiddly than a super fancy brawl. What will that be? That'll be that needs to be a brown, doesn't it? The haft of the sword, the handle. Okay. Hey, Ball Game Dungeon. Yes, I did. Can you hear the tap dripping? That's quite crazy. I didn't think it would pick that up. Yeah, I've got a slightly. It's therapeutic. No, perhaps not. I did see the Warcry stuff. As I was just saying at the top of this, I can't invest into another big game. I mean, I've got Lord of the Rings. I've got a fair amount of Lord of the Rings already. So I decided to spend my remaining money on some dwarves for Lord of the Rings. But yeah, I mean it was out of stock. The link you gave me, but God, that was much cheaper compared to Direct. That looks like quite a good place to get it from. Sound of the. Oh yeah. You know what? I haven't even noticed the sound of the clock ticking. I'm probably going to notice that now. Okay. Don't know why I just took him out. I need to do his handle. So I'm thinking for the handle, a wildwood again. How are you doing anyway? You doing some painting yourself, or? Alright, fair enough. Yeah, it's getting on actually. I'm hoping in this live stream to get all the contrast coat on and then crack on with the layering. That's what I'm hoping to do. I'm heading in with Cygor Brown for the... Nice! You happy? With your Kilgore effort? Yeah, I like metal as well. Oh, with SFB, well, I did Lorelei. There you go. I did Lorelei last night. Managed to do her in just 2 hours. So she was fun. Leaving, hang on, Taze, Kalel, Shuzao, and that's it. And that's it. So 3 more. 3 more SFB left. So it is slowly but definitely surely getting there. Right, metals. How about yourself? How far are you through SFB? Well, I really am running out of this stuff. Ooh. Eight minis. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm well chuffed with Lorelei, how she came out. Absolutely no metal work on Lorelei, which is a bit of a change. 8, 15, isn't there? 15 in total. So you're over halfway. Nice one. Daunting. Yeah. If I'm being completely honest, he was my least favourite to paint out of all the characters. Yes, I would definitely say that. Not to put you off, of course. But, I don't know, just something about him and his miniature. I mean, it's cool. The cloud that he sits upon is cool. like all the miniatures, it's got a dynamic pose, dynamic parts to it, which is really cool. But just compared to the others, it wasn't as fun. Not for me, anyway. Still a great miniature to paint, all of them are. But the good news is I should be able to paint all of the SFB before the Sator box for Blood Rose Wars comes, because that's next, earmarked next for the painting block. Oh, how do I get in there? Carefully. I haven't done this scabbard, have I? Have to go back over that. Man, it's so... yeah. No, I think it's that if you follow the art as well, I think he's the least one. He's the one that pops the least out of all the characters, I feel, because they're all quite cartoonish. They got that style, what the game has, that kind of Overwatch style, I suppose. So they're all like, all the other miniatures are quite colourful, where he's very dull and in a way, I mean, obviously it depends on how you paint him. Oh, Otherfields, wow. That's not a small game, is it? Looks awesome, though. I don't know, I think, in a way as well, like, mixing up what you paint is quite good, because it just keeps it fresh, and it stops it from being a bit too samey. But then Otherfields, that's all unique miniatures as well, isn't it? That's not got a load of troop minis that are exactly the same. I believe that's all unique miniatures as well. So that'd be fun to paint. I'm just gonna get in here with. That needs sorting out. That's wrong. Let's go small again. Looks awesome though. With like the different masks, and that's really cool. A friend in my game group's getting it as well, but as we can't meet up yet at the moment, that's going to be on hold for a little while. But I do look forward to playing that when we can meet up back again. That's if he's not completed it solo, of course, by that point.